Okay, this morning we're working a big, beautiful fish. We lost all our breeders in the winter storm. I set up about 40 youngsters that I hadn't sexed. And then, as usual, if there's a disaster, it usually occurs in a fish that we've already had a problem with. And about 3 weeks ago, we started noticing our power fluctuating. I blamed it on Susie running saws and stuff, doing cabinet making. She's redoing our kitchen cabinets. That, by the way, if I ever need to have her committed, the fact that she's doing that probably would justify it. But anyway, I'd come into the greenhouse and we'd have a couple vats of dead fish with water running. Occasionally, 2 valves in a vat will clog up and we'll lose some fish. But this, about 5 vats on that end row over there had dead fish, but the water was running. But we called our electrician finally when we noticed that the lights in the office would brighten and dim without any rhyme or reason. It didn't matter whether that they were on a different circuit than Susie was using for her saws, it still did it. He said, it's the problem with the wires at the top of your meter loop, called the co-op. So we called Victoria Electric Co-op, who's very, very responsive, by the way. And they got out later that day, and sure enough, they showed me the wires at the top that they had to replace. They were shorting and causing weird power fluctuations. So we got that fixed. But during that time, we lost water to our venustus breeding vat. So of the 43 youngsters that I put in there, we got out 6 males and 9 females. And Susie, if you look at this bucket, these are the youngsters we got. There's one little gold OB in there. I'm just going to leave him in there. There are 94 youngsters. There are a bunch of tiny fry that I didn't net out and will be left in the 300-gallon to harvest next time. So small breeding colony. This is a prolific fish. Unlike all the other Nimbochromis species we have, barely breed. This thing breeds like mad, and it's, I think, the prettiest of them. This is one of our 2 breeder males. We're going to set up 9 females and 2 males. This is a typical female, and he's typical of the males. Males all look pretty much the same. Right now we've got 6 spare males that I'm probably going to sell. Since I'm putting 2 breeder males in, I'd hate just putting, with only 9 females, 1 male would be more than adequate. But things happen. You lose a male, a couple days after you set them up, and you lose an entire 3 to 4 month breeding cycle. So I always have at least 2 males in there, so there's a backup. And over here are the other 8 females and the other male. Okay, so I'm going to put these fish up and hope they do a good job. And then we're going to use these 94 youngsters, grow them up, and maybe by the end of possibly this next breeding cycle, because if we go 4 months, these will be a 3.5, 4 inch fish by then, and I can fairly reliably sex 4 inch venustus. And we'll be able to add females to the breeding colony. If not that cycle, certainly the next one. But we're not going to sell any of these little guys until we get our breeding colony built up. Good fish keeping.